Good morning, my name is Jackson Morris. It is May 2nd, 2024, and I'm going over the interview I had for the interview assignment for week 5. The person I interviewed was Scott Brennan. He is a film producer he's a producer in film and theater, and he was actually my 6th grade teacher when I was young. He also went to UCR here as well. But through the four questions we had, it not only did I get a lot of insight about getting into the film industry as well as just any arts in general, but it seemed like both of us really inspired each other in our creative journeys. We both were sort of benchmarks to each other as he as he found that he he sought to unlock creative potential in people, and seeing that inspired him to get on the path of being a producer in film and theater. So I'm going to go over what I wrote down from my notebook here, what he said, and I also, with his permission, I was able to record the interviews on my phone. There's no visuals, but it's mainly audio recording of what he stated during the interview. So without further ado, I'm going to go over what he touched on. So for the first question, he stated he was a young artist who first pivoted to political science as he had an interest in doing so. He wanted to get into acting first. That was his that's what he wanted to get into. However, he saw that people around not only did he saw that people around him were had higher skills and experience that he did, but he also found that he pivoted to being a lawyer because he was really good at debating. Though around that time, the dean of UCR offered him the position as an intern for the School of Education. So he pursued a master's degree and became a teacher. And around that time, that's when I met him in 6th grade back in 2011. Around that time, he was also the vice principal. So, though his heart was still secretly into film and theater, this brings me to question number 2, where he answered for that question that his goal was always to express yourself creatively. He took opportunities in school, both in school as a student as well as a teacher, to express himself creatively. As I just said, he feels fulfilled to help those unlock their creative potential. He, he I think he really felt fulfilled. Felt fulfilled when we all unlocked our creative potentials. Because I used to write a lot of books. I used to write and illustrate books, and he would always let me present them to the class. And seeing where I am now with film reviewing as well as pursuing film here at UCR, it's really inspired him, and just his teaching as well just inspired me as well. We touched on that during the interview. For the third question, he did answer. He felt that he already answered for the third for the first question. However, he did emphasize that it was a long way of getting to where he is now. He says that he's now in a place where he can fully work in the arts. He got to a point from being in a place where he taught in front of other people to actively practicing that passion to that he always wanted to do. And in doing so, he teaching the other people, he's also inspired them to follow to help follow the same path. Sort of going from being able to express what you know to other people as well as to being eventually being able to practice that. So for the final question, Mr. Brennan answered that he sought to get to know people in the field of theater and film. He used people teaching in the business as benchmarks. He found that he also found that other benchmarks is watching other people succeed. He, he but he really, but as we answer this question, he really emphasized this point. That is to always ask for help. You not only do you have to follow benchmarks but you also just got to look for help. You got to network with other people. Some people try to look on their own, however, that often doesn't work. Having people help you along the way will really help you get to your goal. Your benchmark, he stated that your benchmark doesn't have to be someone like Steven Spielberg. Quality art can also be a good benchmark, as well as qualities of your own success in the past being your own benchmark. How did you get so far? What got you to where you are now successfully? How can you implement that for further success, and how can you prepare yourself for new ways, because each task that you're going to go on is going to be different than the last. But by the end of the interview, as we were concluding, most importantly, he taught me to be true to yourself. Develop your own voice. There is no one else like you. Don't try to imitate others. This was a pretty fulfilling assignment that I did. Not only meeting, well, an old friend of mine again, but just learning so much about insights into getting into the film industry, as well as just learning that we both kind of inspired each other along the way to getting to where we are now. Yeah, and that was the interview that I had with Mr. Brennan. I will see you all next week on campus. Next Monday on campus. See you next week. Bye.